sending out frequencies underneath the streets of Cincinnati. It's WTBS, The Basement Show, After Dark with Lee Zellers. What's up, everybody? This is Lee Zellers, your host, here on The Basement Show, After Dark. After Dark. Sometimes we tape it during the day, but I like to call it After Dark anyway. Today, I got one of like funniest comedians in Cincinnati. My man, Jay Anderson.
What's going on, y'all? How
What's
you
up,
feeling, man?
Jay?
How you feeling? Give me some of that Lee, man. It's good to finally see you, brother.
Good to see you. Is your drink cool?
Man, definitely.
Because I had to have ice with mine. I'm like, you cowboy.
I'm doing the cowboy, man.
Cowboy.
We're gonna talk about the black hat later on.
Yeah, and I say blue or something, but anyway. So how you feeling, man?
Man, feeling really good. Life is grand, man. I love the stage. Comedy it's funny because it's for everybody.
Right.
So when I'm at home with my wife and stuff, man, we talk about a lot of stuff, just like everybody else do.
Right.
But we make jokes about everything. We go crazy because life's fun.
Life is fun.
I'm 35, man. I don't know shit. Excuse me.
See, you're 35.
Yeah, man.
You're good for 35.
Right.
I'm at that age where one time when I was at 35, I was quick to say, I'm 35. Now I'm like, people say, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 52.
Right.
And like, what was that? I didn't quite catch that. I'm 52. Okay, I said it. 52.
Don't let him lie to y'all. Look, he say 52. He probably means 62.
There you go.
But it's a healthy 52.
I got family members that's from Transylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See that? So we doing the dark ages.
Right.
So you ain't the only one.
So I
black
don't
people.
age because we got vampires.
And most of us, we take our time in aging. I noticed that.
Right.
We take our time in
It's a
aging.
good thing. So you're from Cincinnati?
Definitely from Cincinnati.
Born and raised, that whole thing?
Born and raised here, man. My father and my mother, it was crazy because, coming up, they were pastors, my dad was actually the one that was a licensed pastor, so he's the one that got in the pulpit. My mother was just what you call an overseer, thinking she was a pastor. So it was crazy. I grew up with two sisters. They're beautiful. Nicole and Shannon, man, they're awesome people, man. Yeah, man.
And you get she's kind of off camera, but she's here hanging out with us.
I'm telling you, man. Look, this woman holds me down. I wouldn't want to. Hey, you know Irish people?
I know a few.
You know a few?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I married a whole bunch of them motherfuckers.
Okay.
They're beautiful.
So I apologize.
No, women. When I started my whole thing of growing up as a young man, and venturing into females and stuff like that, I had this grand scheme of things, like every man does. We have this bright idea, and it's really not what it is.
Right.
What it is you go through life's measures, and there's going to be someone eventually through the path. God's going to give you somebody.
Right.
He's going to slide right on to you.
Right.
And you're going to know. And it's cool. It's going to be like your fair weather friend, man. The breeze is always cool and calm. But when the time for the storm comes, that's the one that got you.
See, that's where I was going with. That's where I was going at. Sometimes, because I know guys who like, it's my girl and blah, 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 And like, when that storm comes, I ain't seen your girl in a while. Yeah, she took off. It's a storm right now. Been raining like hell.
Right.
It's gone.
Right.
That's what I was just saying, because I've been married for, and my wife.
You care to say, tell the people how
See, if I tell how long, then it's like, it push that age even further.
Okay,
than
then
what I said.
all right.
But I'll just say, it's almost close to your age.
Great.
So it's been a long time.
That's good. See, that's a blessing. That's a blessing for
That's
y'all
a
who don't
blessing.
know. That's a blessing. Okay.
And I mean, she's been down with me and all of this crazy stuff that I do. And
Yeah, because entertainment, man. Look, you doing the basement. This is the big show, buddy. I mean, you got interviews, you got massive lineups. You busy, man. Schedule stay.
It gets crazy.
It's hard to get on the show, y'all. It's hard to get on the show.
Now, and speaking of getting on the show, but how did you get into comedy?
You know
What was you like? Because I'm always curious about how do a person decide on a stage and tell jokes in front of hundreds of people?
Right. And glad you asked that question, because I was nervous at first. I took the stage at the Funny Bone, located in Newport, Kentucky, and it was awesome because it was an open mic more so, but it was an actual competition. Okay. And in this competition, you basically had to place, and the top three, they go on to the next show. And what it was, I just happened to be surfing on my cell phone, just like everybody else does, and I seen it said open competition Funny Bone. Right. Well, I'm gonna give this a shot. So I, knowing me and most people who do know me, I don't back down from the challenge. So I seen that and I took it, man. I made the phone call. I found out exactly what I had to do to make the entry. Once I did that, man, I think the rest was history, because when I came in the building, the lights, and I saw the way that it was set up, and then I seen the stage and that microphone that was just there, I was like, man, that's me. Okay. You know what, again, when I first started, it wasn't the best, because all comedians really, right. It's a try and fail. You know, you want to impress somebody right. so much. But, you know, when I first took that first started, you know, at Funny Bone Newport, man, I'm telling you, I grabbed it by the reins. I really didn't back off. You know, I was hungry.
See, my thinking, too, is like, because I got to do the basement show, and I try to play a host. I try to, every once in a while, say a funny joke, and hopefully somebody laughs. But to, like, get on a stage, because when you're a comedian, it's like you're just out there by yourself.
Oh, yeah, you are.
You know, your ass is out there blowing in the wind.
You by yourself.
And it's just you and the mic, and these people sitting there looking at you like, make me laugh.
Yeah.
So, to go out there on the first time, and it's kind of like, my thing would be like, I want to nail it.
Yeah.
I want to nail the first time out, because if I nail it the first time out, then I feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing here, and I probably can move forward.
Well, the audience was great. I mean, they were already warming, and to be honest with you, it was a very, very packed house, and that's what was, most people say, intimidating. And there was a couple people that I knew, you know, growing up in high school and stuff like that, you know, who actually took this leap of faith, and their instructions was, man, just you know, find some fire, make sure that you're going somewhere with it. And I just remember that going in, you know, to the first show, and you know, I did a couple skits, you know, about what we normally see in comedy clubs, you know, just people wanting to laugh and belly up, and you find some people dressing in mismatched clothes, crazy stuff. Right. I talked about, you know, going to dancing. You know, when you go out to the club and you see the girl, there's always one hoochie in the crowd. You know, she always trying to tear it up. You know, so I used some homebred stuff that was really actually on the fly, to be honest with you. Okay, if you're gonna do this stuff, you gotta kind of be on the fly a little bit, and it worked out, man. It worked out. So pulling.
But I want to ask you though, like, so, how do you go about writing? Do you just, is it off the fly, or do you take the time to, like, just, you know, sit down and just write out some stuff, or just some stuff that come from everyday life and try to put it all together so when you hit the stage you got your material?
Man, you know, man, to be all the way frank with you, a lot of this stuff is on the fly. I mean, I do take the time to note things. You know, I've seen a lot of people use cell phones and stuff when they're on stage, or whatever gets you by or gets you through the show, because that's why the show must go on. So it's all about performing. So I mean, if you have to do whatever you have to do for notes, do it. Me, when it comes to setting myself up for a show, I really never have. I look at some main criteria that's going on in the world today. Certain issues and topics that we don't like to talk about, things we're afraid to you know talk about, and I shed light on them. Tommy Davidson and Martin Lawrence, Bernie Mac, you know, these are the guys that I pull from now. That when you say who am I on stage, who do I follow? These are those guys, and these are guys that can go on the fly. Improv, it doesn't make skits, whatever it is. These are the guys that I tailor to, that I like, and everybody has their own comedian. Steve Harvey's awesome, you know. Everybody, we got God bless you, Steve, love you. But when you ask me about my material and where do I really pull from, my mom and dad, I look at things like that. Growing up, roaches, man. God damn it, them roaches, man. They as big as hell. I look at that, you know, and I'll just jug something up about that. But you know, a lot of my comedy, it's really just cutting edge craziness on the fly.
I gotta give a shout out to my man out on the West Coast, push.com.
Yeah, give it up for Push, man.
He took me with clothing and all that kind of stuff. And
yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to Roland Martin the other day. I like Roland Martin. I love to tweet Roland and have him read my tweets.
Exactly.
It was so good. One of my tweets, man. Oh, yes. You guys get those followers after that too.
They trickling. They come trickling.
He was talking about on one show. They had Capone.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah. And they was talking about, the whole topic was about as far as like comedy crossing the line.
Sure.
Jokes that should be off the shelf that we should not touch.
Yeah.
And it's kind of deep because, like I said, just working with comedians, I love comedy. I watch so much stand-up comedy. Once in a while I try to be funny myself.
Yeah.
My opinion is, I would say like 99.9% of everything can be funny. But that other 1% it might be, I wouldn't, I mean, it would be hard, like, somebody's child died,
Sure.
you tell a joke about that.
All day.
You tell a joke about that.
All day.
If you
All
deeply
day.
religious and you say, I think there's some jokes you could do about religion, but I think there's some jokes that I've heard some people say, and I was just like, I don't want to be standing by you in the next 5 seconds.
Or when it's dark. Or when it's dark. Right.
So I think there is but I think at the same time, it's like I said, 99% of everything to me can be touched on. Because I touched on something, I had some people ask me, like, why did you say that? I was doing this joke about Donald Sterling. I was doing this joke about Donald Sterling.
I was getting ready to talk about it.
I was doing this Donald Sterling thing, and because he was set out there as a racist or whatever. So I'm thinking like, okay, if a guy is set out there as a racist, it's kind of like there's not many things that he would not do as a racist in regards to black people.
Which is scary.
Yeah. So I made a joke. I said something about Adrian Bronner because he got in the news about I beat Mexicans, I beat Africans, and all that. So I said something about if Donald Sterling was a fighter, he might have said something like, yeah, I beat some Africans, and I got some girls for sale that were kidnapped from a school. And I had some people later tell me, like,
now, when you say that's cutting edge, I mean, Lee, there's a fine line for comedy, but to me there isn't. And the reason why I leaned with that when I said that was because, in fact, you have to think. If I hold back something that is funny, it's relative. And I know that there's thousands of other people in this world who have seen that same thing. I have, where we would call it a deja vu. I've been there before. Right. You see, well, I'm sorry, I'm shit.
It's been, when you're in Hollywood, they put you in a newspaper, magazine. Right. When you go to pay $25 to $40 to come see one person on a microphone and it's comedy and you're wanting a show, this is where that fine line goes out the door. Right. Because at that door, now you're in a business. So people have to understand in comedy, we're not trying to pick on anyone specifically. We don't wake up as comedians and say, hey man, you know what, I'm going to just bash the balls out of whoever. Right. That's not it. Donald Sterling, sure, he rubbed you, and anyone else in America the wrong way, but comedy's comedy, and if I say, the fat bald head, which he has a toupee. Don't believe this bullshit, okay? That hair.
He should put a hat on.
That's Miracle Grow, okay? And there's nothing you can do about it. But my point is guys like him, man. You wreck even harder. You wreck even harder. If you told Howard Stern to back off on the microphone with the hoes and strippers and poles, and, but then he's on national television as a judge. You see, there's a fine line there. Right. In their businesses.
Jimmy, and I'm trying to sit. Sarah. I remember the first time. The first time I saw Sarah, I was like,
"Did y'all see that?
Did she just say that?"
Oh, my ears are still wet.
Right. It's kind of like that was like that moment when I'm like, okay, is there a line? Because if there's a line, she done went way across it.
Somebody should be stalking her gas tank.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so for you, like as a comedian, is there some things that you just like? There's some things I ain't gonna touch them.
Yeah, there is, and I really like the racism thing. I really don't want to go there on any account or any time of day. When it comes to talking about government, I really don't want to get into that either because I have a family. I have a beautiful wife and kids, and you do too. Right. Don't want to get blown up.
Don't want a drone flying.
I'll watch what I say in my tone. But honestly, other than just those two alone, I really don't give a fuck. Frankly. I mean, because
it's to bring you laughter. Right. It's to take you out of an element in a position that you might have been in, a surrounding that just might have had you drifting, whatever have you, and pull you tight, man. And over a couple cocktails and a guy that's standing there just blasting on something is just absolutely funny. I'm sorry, that's comedy.
Did you hear? Now I don't know if this because so much stuff on Facebook. That's some kind of like.
Don't you love Facebook?
I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. I really do. It's like. I really do. It's like. I wonder sometimes, like, if I wasn't doing this, would I even be on there? Because sometimes it's just some of the stuff on there. It's like we all falling into this. If it's on Facebook, it must be true.
Right.
Because who wasn't?
Right.
I saw a story the other day about a heckler at a Cat Williams show, and Cat Williams pulled a gun out on him.
Oh, you know like, what now?
I had a feeling that. I think Cat then after he had his issues or whatever, he kind of got himself back on track.
I think I know where you're going.
That would be like a serious left turn. Went back down that road.
That's a problem created.
So did that happen, or did you hear any more of that?
I heard about that, and it did happen. Now, we have hecklers. There's people who watch the show, and and like I say, they pay their money, and they come in and they have this appetite for hunger. Excuse me, for being funny, and it's great because we want you to have an appetite, for laughter.
Right.
And I understand that sometimes most comedians don't always suit to boot, meaning that's the whole room, the whole king caboodle. And unfortunately, I've had a couple hecklers. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And
hecklers are like haters.
Yeah, they are. But I'm gonna talk directly to you haters right now. I don't give a fuck. You still have a sideways hairline, and most importantly, you probably still drive that rusted Honda. I'm sorry, but fuck you. Okay. But no, Lee. Hecklers, man. To any comedian, it's a challenge. To Cat Williams, to that whole show, I'm pretty sure at that particular point, it went overboard. When you're up there and you're performing, again, you're just giving...
But a gun?
But a gun. And then you're talking about in public, baby, that... Cat, you kind of making it look bad on this.
I was going to research it, because I wanted to find out was that actually true. But here's the thing, and I always thought this would be one of the ultimate coolest gags at a show.
Yeah.
Like, to have a heckler and to pull out a gun. Pull out a realistic looking ass gun. Like, what the fuck was that you said?
In Cincinnati, you'd be lucky that could happen.
Right. And then fire off a couple blanks, but then you probably get charged for all kind of stuff. But that would put some shit on a heckler mind.
That would scare a heckler just to see the reverb come back on him. The lashing back on him.
Because one of the things that gets me was like audience, fans, or whatever, people that come to a show. It's like I was watching Last Standing Comic or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were showing the back shot from over the one dude. I can't think of the brother's name right now. I can't think of his name. But anyway, they were showing this reverse shot over his shoulder, and I could see and I'm looking at the audience.
Right.
And there was a couple people in the front row. He's just sitting there like,
not happy.
And I'm like, when you come to a comedy show, shouldn't you want to be like in a position to want to be entertained versus coming there with an attitude?
I never understood that. Do you understand that?
No, I don't get that.
That's kind of weird. Okay, if you came to a show or one of my shows, you would automatically anticipate having a great time.
Right.
And whoever you brought with you, I'm pretty sure they would feel the same. And unfortunately, on national TV, you'll see people sitting there that just aren't amused.
Right.
That's a job not well done.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're going to make everyone's stomach hurt.
Right.
They're going to belly over, but to be honest, these things you have to be ready for as a comedian.
Hurt you so bad.
Yeah.
That not only do you won't come to my show
ever.
You won't never go to another comedian show.
Expose them. Do you like to expose people?
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to put them out there. You just got to put them out there so the world can see this.
This is so wrong.
Asshole.
This is so wrong.
Speaking of technology,
believe this stuff.
Somebody, because I gotta, before I forget, I don't want nobody to be like, I sent the text, you didn't read it.
Yeah.
That's wrong text. Let's just up on that. Technology, it never moves as fast as it should when you want it to.
We're never gonna beat it.
It's from where's it at? Brian. Brian asked, "Are you ever gonna play ball with him again?"
You know what, man? Look, I've been doing this ever since I started doing this comedy. I'm gonna be honest, man. You're busy and you're doing venue to venue, and you're constantly mingling with people in the crowd that are trying to get you where you need to be.
Right.
Hayward J. Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, for you
Yeah,
guys who
Hayward.
don't know him, he is my mentor.
Hayward do his
This
thing.
guy is awesome.
Right.
And ever since I had started collabing with him and working with him and him really grooming me to get better at this comedy stuff, I stopped balling, Brian, man. I'm sorry, B, man. Look, all right, here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. I'm 35. I still got it. I haven't lost anything. I will cross you over. Don't worry about it. I'll be to see you soon.
Twist some ankles.
You know what?
Sometimes you gotta break the ankles.
He's a teammate of mine. For those of you who don't know, where it comes from, Tay is a power forward that plays on the basketball team that we actually sponsor in Cincinnati, and we do it for the youth in Cincinnati. Okay. It's for Special Olympics and it's for kids with disabilities. So I try to find something in an avenue to give back, to the community and still be able to insert myself in a game that I love so much. Right. LeBron, yeah. Don't worry about it. I feel like I'm Kobe out there. A lot of people love LeBron. I'm a Kobe guy. But Special Olympics and Tay, man, Brian, man, dude, I love you to death, man, and I hope to be back in the league, seeing y'all, coming in November, man.
And speaking of, not having the time to play ball, because you're trying to. A lot of times, man, people don't understand that.
Yeah, man.
I go through that where it's like people think like as if like I called you, I text you, I stopped by your house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm out there in the front now. Yeah. I'm texting you now. Yeah, are you in that house? It's like stalking type stuff. Man. It's like as if you just so caught up in whatever, you don't have time for them. And it's like it's not so much that I'm like avoiding you, right? Or like I don't want to be bothered with you. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. Yeah. It's like when you're trying to do this, your day is so crammed. Right. You're doing like if you got a JLB and then you're trying to do this, then you got family. And it's like them 24 hours.
Lee, let me tell you,
condensed fast.
You talking about condensing them fast, man? It gets to the point that okay, like for instance, I'm traveling now, and doing shows and stuff out of the city, so it's beautiful, and God's blessing me to be able to do that. But when you have a family and you have so many high expectations, so many different people to fulfill. You have family, you have friends, and some fans, if not a lot, whatever. It takes 24 hours seriously. And it's no longer, like some people, they have 16-hour days. Right. Or they go to work, they come home after 5 o'clock, they're with the kids, and it's over. Right. It's 24 hours. It's ongoing. Yes. And for me, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I love it. And for the people I don't talk to on a regular basis, like my father, I don't get to see him all the time. Right. We talk, but I don't get to see him all the time. And, like my wife and my mother-in-law and kids. And
you gotta talk to the wife.
You know what? That is, I will say this. Because of everything that I do in shows, traveling and stuff like that, with her being a part of everything, we always talk. We have that, whether she's either there at the shows or whether she's actually at home with the kids or whatever have you. But we have that connection where she can tolerate me to do this stuff. Yeah. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's like, I remember when I used to be like, when the whole technology explosion.
Wow, man.
And everybody was like texting. And I was like, I was old school and I was like, I was texting shit. Call me. What now? I'm like, don't call me.
Don't text me.
It's easier because it's like I could communicate easier with you because it's like get off work, I get in, I gotta edit, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I got the family. It's like if I stop and sometimes I hate to feel that way, but sometimes it's like
it's overwhelming.
If I talk to you on the phone for 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I feel like I just lost a lot of time. So it's like when I got that free time, I'll try to get that conversation stuff in, but like a lot of times, man, it's just like
I don't know if they know. I don't know if they know this, Lee, but I'm gonna share something with them. Doing this production is hard. This whole show and everything. First of all, any show is hard, and taking that opportunity, is a big step. Like I said, a huge leap of faith, and you've done that so wonderfully, man. Through the years, dude, you've grown this show, and it's awesome. But it's got to be stressing for you too at the same time, man. So don't think my career in comedy, y'all. Fuck y'all. It's kind of cool. His job's hard as hell.
I do these. Shit. I do these. Sometimes I take a couple Quaaludes.
That works.
Smoke a blunt.
Every now and then.
I'm just lying because I don't want the job to want to piss test me.
On Sunday, I'll be in church.
But it's just this.
That never happens.
So, like, where you want to go? Where you want to go? What do you want to? What is the big picture? For some people that's in this business, if it's acting, if it's comedy, if it's whatever, the big picture always for them is Hollywood, millions of dollars, jets, and all that kind of stuff.
No, I don't really want that, Lee. Like I said, first of all, this started as a hobby. And it takes us back to when we first asked me, how did I get started and where did I start? And I looked at that time period and how it's brought me full circle now. And I just honestly want to do comedy to appease people. But most importantly, my goal of this whole thing is to get me where I need to be. Radio, television, communications. I love broadcasting. I love hosting. I love being in front of the camera. I love smiling. It's awesome. Cool, but man, I'm telling you, this whole thing is all about building my resume.
Right.
Hopefully one day someone will see this and they'll say, okay, besides comedy, the guy, he really has a knack for it. He loves it. And it's a passion. And maybe we'll take some steps to go that way, in that direction, because that's ultimately where I want to end up. I'd like to have my own show like Steve Harvey. Yeah. I would love it. But not so much the same. Right. You never want to carbon copy. Right. You never want to duplicate anything. I want to simplify my show, but still have some of the same taste that Steve Harvey does. Right. That's class, man. He's got it going on.
So that Steve is like one of your, like, because most comedians, they got a guy like that guy's like the guy. That's the man, right?
That he's the man for me. And when I say that, no homo, because a lot of people, I love you gay people. I do.
We love you. I mean, we just straight, but you can be straight and still love gay people, just like gay people still love straight people.
Right. Michael Jackson said we love the world. We are the world.
Right.
Okay. Well, back to my point. No, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It takes a lot. It does. And where I'm trying to go now, it's very simple for my family. It'll be very comfortable for everyone that's into my fans and stuff. Will be able to grow with me. These are steps. It's just like a dancer. A dancer starts first year and you get second year, whatever, and you grow in the fan base, and that's all I'm trying to do is just grow in this business.
Patience. It takes patience. Now, something that we just before we get out of here.
Man, I know what we're talking about.
Well, you brought it up at one point. Then I made a mistake. I looked at the picture. I thought it was blue.
Oh wow!
And I thought maybe he's like the hat is blue because he's representing Blue Ash. Because I don't know if any brothers from Blue Ash. I always kid you about Blue Ash and stuff.
I'll break it down for you.
But you know what? I had a cowboy. I used to have two of them. Seriously.
You ain't had no cowboy hat.
Back in the day, I used to probably when people thought I was crazy. I used to walk around this big ass, they talk about Pharrell's hat?
Of course.
I had a big ass 10-gallon beige hat.
Right.
I used to walk around with this hat on, and my boys used to be like, what you think he is, John Wayne?
Hey.
That was my thing. It was cool.
Django, man, the movie. Yeah. That's where it came from, y'all. So y'all don't know. As a comedian, you got to be inspired. And you got to do some funny things every now and again. And I woke up that morning. What did I do, man? I think I had a bottle of Jack the night before, but I didn't finish it. Right. So I had a Jack and Coke, okay? And I know for y'all, like in the morning, yeah, damn right. It's heavy out here in this world. So I had one, and man, I said, you know what? My face needs to be trimmed up. I needed this, and I don't go to the barber. I can't afford it. They're expensive. So I went, cut my face up, man, did my hair, trimmed everything up, and I said, wow, he's kind of like cowboy handlebars, Right. And I see my cowboy hat in the bedroom. So I said, well, you know what? Well, David, if Jamie Foxx can do it, I can do it, So I did it. I put it on, and I tipped it, a couple times. I said, man, I look good in this thing, man.
You pulled it off, man. Because everybody can't do that. It's like some things, that we can pull off. Some things we can't. It's like the shaved head look. Everybody can't pull that off.
I got it.
If I was to shave my head, first thing people would think is if he done totally lost it. I probably would look like I had.
I'm wearing a bald head now, Lee, but I'm afraid to show it. I got a little. I'm gonna show y'all.
See, but it works with you.
But I got a little scratch on there, and
the scratches, like cutting too hard on it, or what?
I cut it to the white meat, baby.
When you get down to that white meat, that's it hurt.
It hurt bad. It hurt for y'all. Don't know it hurt when y'all work.
Because when you get to the white meat, you don't see the blood.
Nah, that's the
and
part.
then it come later.
That's the part. Yeah. That's the part where it gets you.
That's when you don't
freak
out. Way too deep.
You're going too deep. Stop.
But everybody can't pull it off. The hat, everybody can't pull it off. The bald head look, everybody can't pull it off. I could pull off the cowboy hat if I threw one on a day. The bald head look, I don't think I can.
Next time, if you have me back on the show, man, next time I'm here, I'll bring back the cowboy hat. I promise you, man.
Well, I'm glad that we had you on the show. You're a funny guy. Where can they find you at? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.
God got so many things coming up, man. Like I said, again, shout out to Hayward J. Thompson. I love him.
Hayward.
And another guy that means the world to me. This is like my brother in Christ. He is my crutch. I need you guys to pay attention to Jabron Arnold. He's an awesome guy. Jabron Arnold, love you too, man. I'll be coming up at Kiki Wyatt on the 25th July. Yeah, man, of this month coming up. 8 o'clock, man, after party at the Upper Echelon in Kenwood. For those of you who don't know, it's a suburb, okay? Kenwood. Whatever. But Kiki Wyatt's in the house, man. So I'm actually gonna be there hosting for that, man. So that's awesome. But before the 25th of July, which is like right around the corner, on the July 19th, I'll be down in Washington Park, man. I'll be getting it in the city of Cincinnati.
Ah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Doing things, man. See, you gotta be active. You gotta be out here. You gotta be doing stuff. Cause you sit at home and like just sitting around smoking weed, playing with your Xbox.
Gotta do something, y'all.
You ain't doing nothing. You're not going nowhere. You need to be
something
doing
with your
stuff.
life.
Like not just sitting around and like, yeah, I got a blunt and I got my Xbox and I just wiped out a bunch of
Don't
aliens.
go around
That's
shooting
disgusting.
shit. Stop shooting shit.
Nothing. You're not doing that. You're wasting your life. Get out and do things. Be
Game up.
Man, I'm glad to have you on the set.
Yeah, man.
Glad to share a drink with you.
Man, yes, definitely.
Because, you know, it's like, we alcoholics.
I am.
We got. That was good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was good having you on the show.
Yeah, man.
Look forward to having
Give
you
me
back.
some love, man.
Yes.
Give me some love, y'all.
The Basement Show After Dark.
Appreciate
Tune
it.
in,
I appreciate
YouTube,
it.
Twitter,
I appreciate
Facebook,
it, man.
world. That's where we're at. We're global. We all over the place.
Yes.
Check us out. Jay Anderson in the house.
Y'all. So, I'll see y'all.
We out.
There it is, baby.